the National Stadium, Singapore, the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020, which now culminates in the final. It's the first leg between Indonesia and Thailand. Indonesia hoping beyond hope for a first title. This is their 6th attempt now. For Thailand, this is now their 9th final in 13 editions. They are the supreme team in the region, and they will hope to get a 6th AFF Suzuki Cup. Fans have been streaming in, lots of excitement in and around the stadium before. And we've got that second leg on Saturday as well. 10 fans allowed in here because of COVID-19 restrictions, and boy have they been thrilled in the last couple of weeks. Indonesia have really grabbed this tournament by the scruff of its neck. Barely fancy to even get out of their group. Not only did they top Group A, the Group B I should say, they even did it ahead of the overwhelming favourites, Vietnam. They held the Vietnamese to a goalless draw in what was a defensive masterclass, and then played Singapore over 2 legs in the semi-finals. What a thrilling encounter we had in the second leg, especially on Christmas night, one that will live for the ages. And then Thailand, they came into this wanting to also entertained as well. So for me, this is Thailand, a very balanced team. They know how to attack, they know how to get the goals, they know how to see a result out as well and be very professional and keep opposition sides out, up against an Indonesian team who I feel will get at them, will try and attack, will be brave and will not be afraid to
kosong.
Belanja dari hati.
Belanja dari hati.
Expectations are absolutely massive. We talked about Indonesia. What about Thailand? They haven't won this competition since 2016. Here is the Indonesian lineup for you. They make 3 changes today. I think the most clear one is at left back with Pratama Arhan out through suspension. He's replaced by Edo Federiancha. Irfan, who's been arguably one of the players of the tournament, gets to start today. Surprisingly did not. And Didik Setiawan will be leading the line, as you can see here. They go with a 4-2-3-1. There was a feeling that they might go with a 5, and Roshan will explain in a short while how they could well set up against Thailand as this match progresses. So, as I mentioned, Pratama Arhan is not available today. Ezra Walian is the striker that sits this out. They have been swapping their strikers around quite a bit, and Ramai Rumakek, the very fast attacker, will have to settle for a place on the bench. We talked about Asnawi on the left. What about this man here on right? Shanatip Songkrasin, MVP in 2014 and 2016. One of the most recognizable faces in football from the region. And here is the starting lineup for Thailand. Fibers from that second leg draw against Vietnam. Tirasin Dangda, the striker. Pitiwat in midfield. Chanatip, we just spoke. And Kritsada in the centre of defence. They will with a 4-3-3. Pitiwat at the bottom of that diamond. Chanatip at the top, feeding Tirasin Dangda and Bordin Pala. What that means is we have plenty of regulars not available. The big change, of course, many people will talk about another left back who will not be joining us tonight because of a suspension, and that is Tiraton Bunmatan Chachai is out for the tournament. The goalkeeper sustained a serious injury, and he will not be available again. We asked about Manuel Beer and Patom Ponestable. Not given. And Ant King, along with Shin Taeyong on the bench, I should also add Sanat Shuyan, Titipan and Narubadin. So its changes are plenty, Roshan, more than perhaps many would have thought. But yeah, it is the first leg.
Yeah, I was quite surprised actually when the Thailand came out, but I guess I shouldn't be, because Honorable King has spoken about using his squad and about having faith in each and every member of that squad, and we've seen throughout this competition he's not been afraid to make those changes. A couple of them enforced, especially at left back with Tristan Doe coming into that position, but Roller as well at right back. So what it does is it gives them a lot of more energy, those fresh legs into the side. So I'm interested to see how they sort of repay his faith here.
Yeah, he's not only just giving them effectively a dead rubber against Singapore, but he's also given them a play some time in the final of 2 legs, which is great from him. And there's a roar from the crowd as we have the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020 final get underway. And Roshan, take us through perhaps how Indonesia will set up. They're going with a 4-2-3-1, but you feel that that's an opportunity for Devanga, or Alfredo Devanga, to slip back if he needs to.
Well, they have that option, right, with Alfredo, who can drop into that back line. They need to go into a back 3 at any point in this game. They've also got Rahmat Irianto who can do that.
Here's Bordin Pala. It's a good run into the penalty area. They've almost handled it in through Supato. What a start that could have been for Thailand.
Well, it would have been a real nightmare for Indonesia. Fakrudin just fling over. Bordin with power here. Yeah, lovely first touch in behind, and then you think Fakrudin's favourite to that. But Nadeo, excellent once again with that double save. But yeah, just going back to, as we see this chance once more, I think it's come off the hand of Super Chop. With that formation, so you can have Rahman Irianto as well, just dropping into that back line if you need to. But I think this 4-2-3-1 worked for them because it allows Ricky Kambuaya to have sort of that license to roam.
Yes, Philip Roller. Shonaka! Oh, what a start this has been! Thailand in the lead with a stop on their skipper.
What a start for Thailand. They're on it. They are on it. Wonderful finish from Chanatip as well. He's on the edge of the area. He heels away from Alfeandra, who has to go and help his defense out. No protection from the midfield there. They get drawn all over the place. You can see Rahman Irianto leaves his midfield position, his central midfield position, gets dragged out, and so does Alfeandra. The number 13 goes out to try and stop Philip Roller. And then Alfeandra, as Roller beats 2-3 players in there, draws those defenders towards him, and then that creates a space for Chanatip to go and power that home. What a finish.
Fantastic goal from Chanatip Songkrasin, who's now got 3. Remember, he scored 2 in the first leg, semi-final against Vietnam. And they just have not allowed Indonesia to settle at all. Philip Roller hoping to win that ball. Perseverance from him on that right-hand side. And it is very, very impressive here from the Thais. Indonesia now trailing by a goal early on. A nightmare start for them.
A great start for Thailand, and I think we expected this from Thailand, didn't we? In the sense that, you know, they're not afraid to go out and try and kill the game off in the first leg.
This is exactly what they did against Vietnam.
That's exactly where I was going with that, Chez.
And ironically, this is what Indonesia did with Singapore in the early stages of that second leg in particular. They love Indonesia themselves to go up with quick, brisk start. Look at that. Thai fans will be absolutely delighted with that. Clearance away by Knitsat has been one of the stand-up performers in this competition. They're fine with that touch on. Here's Chanatip. Look at that. The pirouette from him. We were not quite at the same tournament, were we, in 2018? We didn't have the joy of watching Chanatip, did we? And this is what we're missing, Roshan.
He's a class apart, right? And I feel like I've said this a few times now in this competition with Chanatip. It's just a different level. And the spaces that he occupies as well, he's just so intelligent. He's always got his head on a swivel, scanning in this environment, understanding. And even if he doesn't receive, what he's going to do is he's going to drag players out of position as well. And that will create a space for someone else to then go and use. But that first goal, Philip Roller, I thought was excellent. That again, we talk about dragging players towards you, and that's exactly what Philip Roller did. Dragging that midfield, essentially. Those 2 sitting midfielders of Indonesia, Irianto and Dewanga, that are supposed to protect on the edge of the penalty area. Both of them got dragged across. This is a look at the goal again. Roller here, wonderful work, lovely bit of skill. Irianto gets dragged across, Dewanga gets dragged across, and then that leaves that space on the edge of the penalty box for Chanatip to go and exploit.
Not a man you want to give space to, Chanatip Songkrasin. He's exploited that one fully. Thailand on the ball. Wiratap trying to get that up to Bordin Pala, who's up there with Tirasin. Now Super Chop. He's got Philip Roller. Thailand with a corner.
You know, the new age term for being able to draw defenders towards you is apparently called gravity. Where you drag players along with you.
I like sucked in the past, but
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
gravity.
it is what it is, you know.
Okay.
You got to try and keep up with the times, I guess.
Gravity. Okay, so that's what the kids say.
Yep.
Here is Thailand now with that corner. And that actually wasn't all that far away from a nice bowler. We've got a free header. Now Roller, who came into the squad late, flew in from Germany. They've got the ability to call upon very, very talented players. They've got the best league in Southeast Asia. Sada. Now with a tap. Not been a regular in this lineup. Certainly been very good. There's Paul King saying, calm down. Lots and lots of time.
There he goes in his black shirt and jeans combination, tucked in, sleeves rolled up. You see Sada taking a bit of contact.
What I could say about you right now, Roshan.
Sada, 22 years of age, by the way, just a reminder. And wonderful quality shown in that back line. He's normally a defensive midfielder as well. And this really supports it. It's one of the... I'm going to add this to evidence of this theory that I've got of defensive midfielders slotting into central defense easily. Whereas central defenders can't play in central midfield.
Central defender there are listening. Let us know your thought. Looking to get that up to Tirsen Danga. Pretty well. Ambitious from him. Well, he'll be absolutely delighted. He talked again about bringing this trophy back onto 3 goals. He's one away from his countryman Tirsen Danga. They're the only 2 at the moment. Irfan Jai's got 3. He's got a chance as well. Witten Sulaiman has got 2. The only players left, and there's Witten Sulaiman who had a swing at the ball and missed. They haven't really got on it at all, have they, Roshan?
No, they haven't. And you know, Thailand coming into this, obviously the more experienced of the 2 sides, the players who have featured in this competition and players who have won this competition previously. Indonesia, a very young squad, a very young side. There's lots of excitement from some of their players coming into this final, and you wonder at times if that excitement just gets a bit too much for you. You know, it's got to be at a certain sort of level. You almost see Thailand just break in midfield.
Thailand have the 2nd oldest squad in the tournament after Singapore, and Indonesia have one of the youngest after the likes of Timor-Leste, Cambodia and Laos. And that's one of the things that Shin Tae-yong has done. He's lowered the average age, hasn't he, of his squad. He's been very deliberate in that. He's been very deliberate who he's picking. He wants players he can kind of mould, Roshan, into his vision.
That's right. I think the key for Indonesian football going forward is to get as many of these younger guys as they can moving overseas and playing overseas and experiencing a different level, a different culture, a different way of playing as a professional footballer, living as a professional footballer for them, because it's a talented team that's got a big, bright future ahead of them.
Yeah, right now, of course, people talk about the likes of Witten Sulaiman is just there on the ball. Egu Maulana is on the bench, along with Elkan Baggett. These are the overseas-based stars. But look at Thailand again. And it's a work by Fakudu. Right-hand side has been productive for Thailand. With a tap. There's Supachok. See the idea, just a little too much on that for Roller.
And just notice as well the position that Roller had taken out there. You know, the rotation of positions that they're employing. And if you're defending in those here in this one, you know, a couple of straight passes, loose touches, Thailand really applying the pressure, making sure that the Indonesian players don't have much time on the ball. It's a lovely cut from Supachok.
Back to Roller. Gurek slow.
To this game, the goal by Borden.
Udah kuat ya.
Time from Japanese football. Gurek slow.
bro.
Well, that was really well worked by Thailand again. They're a joy to watch in possession. I mean, the way they sort of worked it out from under pressure down the left-hand side, switch of play, find a link in Super Chop there, who was aware enough to hold on to it. He knew he had to sort of wait for the run of the roller on the outside of him. Was able to turn away from that pressure, win a free kick in a really good position. No Tirathon for them though.
Yeah, this would be something he'd like to step up for. This is fairly central. There's a bit of a discussion.
He's not too bad as well, to be fair.
Piala is saying, I want this one. Not too far away in that position a few days ago, Roshan. It'd be pretty hard to replicate that.
As he wants to hit that, Borden. His head goes up before he makes contact with the ball.
There's Sivarak, who's had to come in for Chachai, who sustained an injury on that second leg. He filled in very, very well. Elias Dola gets the header first. Delightful ball from Chanatip. Here's Borden, he's looking for some support. It was excellent work, wasn't it, from Asnawi, who's tenacious, but has conceded a free kick here.
It's a really good battle. Down this side of the pitch, Asnawi is a very talented defender. It's a good challenge. Quick to get up on his feet to try and recover. And he needed to time this one really well. Just perhaps a little bit overzealous on the second one.
Another one of those, Roshan, that plays his football overseas.
That's right.
In Korea. Gordon Pala on the free kick again here. Here's Chanatip. Wanted a touch, I think he would have wanted there. Titipat. Indonesia from him. Slips that into Irfan. It bubbles around. They're asking for the penalty. Some of them, the referee.
So much ground to get himself back there, and that's been one of the impressive things about Chanatip in this campaign, is his willingness to track back and help out defensively. It all started, I think we can see quite clearly that it's a foul to Thailand. Chanatip just gets across, he does well, uses his body well, and then gets a kick from Irfan. Here's another close-up for you, goes right through the back of Chanatip's leg there.
It's a lot of ground, isn't it? He's got... Tracking back.
A wonderful move from Indonesia though. It all started from Ricky Kambuaya, who beat a couple of Thai players with a lovely ball forward for Witan Sulaiman. That first touch from Witan was excellent because it continued the momentum of the move, allowed him to play that attempted pass in behind. Offside, he does stray offside. You can see him just leaning forward. Flag gone up. Good decision by the assistant referee.
Their pace rush and the counter-attack at the moment seems their best option, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The way the Thailand are coming and pressing them high.
You know, if they can get out of the counter press. That's the thing, they haven't been able to get out of Thailand's counter press. And their counter press meaning the moment Thailand lose the ball, Thailand straight away want to win it back. So they're quick to close down again and try and win the ball back again. And Indonesia are sort of just panicking in those moments, in those possession phases. But you just look at the connections here between the Thai players, how close they are to each other. They're all moving in tandem, looking to provide support. I mean, those possession numbers are just ridiculous.
But it's one in which the difference from some of the other possession stats we've seen where Thailand are actually utilising this, aren't they, the possession?
Yeah, it's almost as if
Away from Tirisen Dangda.
Siap sedia kapan aja. Blue Red Sloan, harga lebih